not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Hello, this is the Ask the Expert show. I'm host Steve-O. We're going to be with you for the next hour. Finally, no rain. I'm so sick and tired of seeing rain. Has everybody gotten out yet? Have you gone into restaurants? I went into one last night. It was packed and no one was wearing a mask. I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose. Our show runs every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7. And tonight's show, I don't know why, for some reason, when we do our social media the week before the show, we get questions from people who want us to ask our expert questions. This is the most questions I've ever received in our 5 years that we've been here. Tonight's show is family law. And not only do we have a family law attorney, but we have a board certified family attorney. Let me welcome you to Tina Lourd.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, it's been a long time since we've actually been in studio, even though you're at your place and I'm here at the studio, but the show is live. This is not a tape show tonight. And it's so good to see you. And I'm so glad you're well and you're healthy.
Yes, everybody's good. Yeah, it's good to see you. I can see you. So that's
Yes.
a start, right?
It's amazing. People love this show. They love you. That's what it is. They love you. And I've got so many questions. Some of them because we've been doing the show for so long, I could answer them myself. But first of all, since we have all these new listeners, tell everybody about your practice.
Sure. So I am a marital and family law attorney. I've been practicing law so this is my 20th year practicing law.
No way.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it either. I have to have a party or something, right? So, yeah, I specialize in family law, and so family law. And a lot of people, it's funny when I talk to them, or even friends and relatives and things. Sometimes they don't even actually know what family law is. People think it sort of encompasses a lot of things that would pertain to all things human wills and trust, and it doesn't.
Right.
So family law is, like I always say, a fancy word for saying divorce law. So we handle divorce cases, alimony, child support, child custody, some domestic violence, and then modifications and enforcement of post divorce cases, issues that come up after the divorce, as we say, and then premarital agreements, so prenups and postnups. But that's what I do. And I've been doing this for a long time. I've been board certified in the area of law. You can be board certified in the state of Florida. Board certifications mean that you are an expert in that area of practice. And I think there's something like upper 20 something or 30 something different areas of practice you can be board certified in. But family law is one of them, and only board certified attorneys can say that they are an expert in that area of law,
Right.
or that they specialize. So there's the higher level of skill and experience and knowledge, and we're tested for all those things, and have to go through rigorous sort of efforts to get to that status as a board certified lawyer. So anyway, that's what I do. My office is in Boca. Right now, we are still fully operational. We're doing a lot I'm doing a lot from home. I have staff that is in the office working. That's their choice. We're set up to work remotely at this point, but a lot of people are starting to go back. So I'm working from home, though. I've got mediations and depositions and court hearings and trials that we're doing just like this on video. And the courts have adapted to that. The judges have adapted to that. Some easier than others. I think some of the judges were very tech savvy already and prepared for this, and other of the judges had no idea that this even existed to do all the, the Zoom and the WebEx and all of that. But they're doing it, and we're having full blown trials where we're exchanging documents and evidence and taking testimony, and the court reporter is there from his or her house swearing everyone in and all of that. So it's working. And so the cases that I'm handling have really, not missed a beat, which is what my clients have wanted to happen during this time. I guess once everybody sort of settled into the reality that this is happening.
So what if somebody wants to come in and talk to you now? How do you just do it over the phone?
So I do, yes, I'm doing a lot of them over the phone, or I'll offer them. And this is the thing, this is, as we know, this incident, this occurrence, this historical situation that we're in is going to change a lot of the way a lot of people do a lot of things. And I think, so yes, I will offer people to meet, quote, I'm using air quotes, meet with me by Zoom. That's the one that we use. And so we can do it like that way so that we can see each other's faces, or they can do it by phone. And, I did a lot by phone already. Again, it's just, we live in such a busy world. And I always, even when I was in the office before all this happened, and I would offer people, do you want to come in and meet with me, or do you want to talk by phone? And so a lot of people like to do it by phone. And I just personally, I do it that way, or I offer that to people to do it that way. But right now, while we've been trying to keep everyone distanced and stay healthy and everything, I've been doing phone or, video conference calls.
So married couples have been in the house for the last couple months, basically 24/7. Have you noticed a difference? I mean, are the phones ringing more?
So there's been this big sort of like, I don't want to say joke because, it's not funny, but sort of, I've seen a lot of the memes on social media where people are like, oh, divorce attorneys are going to be raring to go after this is all over. Although I don't know when that's going to be. But I wouldn't say I'm getting more calls. I'm getting calls about that. I'm getting calls with people. I mean, I have a lot of clients who are already separated, so that obviously helps. And then,
Right.
during this time, I'm getting people, with issues of where there's concern over everyone being in the same house. And if they're in the middle of a divorce or they're about to get a divorce, they're obviously they don't want to be arguing or having conflict in front of their children because the children are home, and it's sort of, it's more difficult to shield everyone from all of that. So I am getting some calls regarding that. I've gotten some calls, unfortunately, regarding, some domestic violence situations. I mean, we're seeing these cases where, despite what's going on, and despite everyone trying to shelter in place and shelter at home, somebody has to get out, and that happens. And there are resources, or they're going from one home to another where I'm instead of sheltering in place with my abuser, I'm going to shelter in place with a family member or a friend or whatever I have to do for the time being. But this situation obviously makes that more difficult for some people. And then, I'm also getting a lot of calls where there's some time sharing conflicts. So, and there was a case in the news, you might have seen it, came out of Miami, where I think it was a doctor. I think she was an ER physician, and she's obviously on the front lines of this, and she's exposed to the cases and the patients and all of that. And I think her ex, or soon to be ex, said, well, I don't think you should have time sharing with our child for right now because you're potentially putting the child in danger. And the court, I think it was like I said, I think it was a Miami case. The court in Miami said, okay, that's, we're gonna keep the child away from that person working on the front lines. And she appealed it, and the appellate court said, no, we're not taking away, as long as she's doing all her precautions, just because there's so many people. You can say she's on the front lines, but then someone else who's, I don't know, delivering groceries, or, all the police officers and all the people that we have that are just out there, that have to be out there for different reasons. Their time sharing shouldn't be just automatically taken away from them because of what they do. So I'm seeing some cases and getting some calls about conflict over whether the child or children should be with one parent or the other, who maybe is, one person saying the other isn't being as responsible as they should be with taking safety precautions and social distancing. And so there's some cases going on like that. But,
I
it's
noticed
been interesting.
we got a lot of emails from listeners wanting to know about domestic violence. And they said, do we go to a family attorney or to a criminal attorney? What do you suggest?
So if they're seeking a commonly referred to as a restraining order, or an injunction for protection against domestic violence, that's the official name of the order they'd be seeking, and you go to a family attorney. And that's done it's in the court. It's actually its own court division, domestic violence division, which is shared with the family law division. So it's actually our family law judges that oversee these cases. Those hearings, unlike most of the other family law hearings that we're doing right now, those hearings are actually being done in person. So those hearing, and they will give you a hearing. So you go to you actually file a petition for protection, for an injunction for protection against domestic violence. And if the court thinks that there's enough allegations in your petition as written, they will grant it on a temporary basis and then set a hearing usually 2 weeks later, so that everyone can come testify about what the situation is. But yeah, typically that's done by a family law attorney.
Okay. We're going to go to break. Give everybody your phone number, Tina.
Sure. The phone number is 561-544-6861. And also we have a website, which is lewertlaw.com, LEWERT law.com.
We're going to go to a break, and we come back. I've got so many questions for you. We'll be right back with attorney Tina Lewert.
Lewert Law Offices is proud to be the family law expert on the Ask the Expert show. Attorney Tina Lewert is a board-certified specialist in marital and family law. Attorney Lewert is committed to obtaining the best resolution for your divorce or other family law case by consistently providing skilled representation, expert legal advice, and personal attention. Attorney Lewert has developed an excellent reputation for providing effective divorce and family law representation in Boca Raton and the surrounding communities. Lewert Law Offices offers legal advice and representation in a wide range of family law matters, including divorce, child custody, time sharing and visitation, child support, alimony, complex asset distribution, post-judgment modifications, and paternity actions. For expert representation in all aspects of divorce and family law, contact attorney Tina Lewert today at 561-544-6861 or visit www.lewertlaw.com.
We're back. We're here. This is the Ask the Experts show. We're on every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7. We have local experts in the fields of health, legal, financial, and home improvement. We also, right now, you can actually watch the show live by going to Ask the Experts with Steve O, host. And we're doing family law every month. Tina Lewert is with us. So, I don't know how long this is going to last for, but this has to change the way you do business. Which parts do you like?
Yeah, so I think it was going to change a lot of people, but I actually like so in family law cases, particularly in this area of the state, we do a lot of mediations. Sometimes in the more contested family law cases, we do 2 or 3 mediations in one case. And I like doing it over video chat. Some people may not. I think it's actually, for me anyway, my personal experience is that it's actually been just as effective, thankfully. And we didn't know how all this was going to go, because whether you're in mediation or you're in a deposition or you're in a courtroom with a judge and witnesses testifying and all of that, whatever the situation may be, there's something to be said, obviously, for eye contact and just for direct, personal contact. Or, for example, if you have a trial or a hearing, you have evidence, you have exhibits, you have paper. Our court hearings are not paperless. So, we didn't know how that would be, how that would go. And, as an example, I did a hearing last week. It was a 2-hour hearing. And I had, I think, something like 20 exhibits, paper exhibits. Well, I emailed them. We emailed them to the judge. Judges have had to adapt a little bit to this, like I said. So normally we would have to bring them all in paper form, but this particular judge took them by email. I guess he printed them because ultimately, they can't be paperless either with the exhibits, just the way the rules are set up. And then what I did was, this was actually beautiful. We had, all of our participants in this hearing on the screen: me, the judge, the other attorney, the court reporter, the parties who were testifying, and we could all see each other. But when I had an exhibit, I was able to share my screen. Some of the video chat softwares will allow you to share your screen. So I can share the screen on my computer and kind of scroll through with you to show you what I was referring to, a highlighted item or whatever. So, and in family law too, with the divorces and the finances, we have a lot of numbers and a lot of papers and things that we're dealing with. So that was actually really great. I've enjoyed that. And for me, everything's gone smoothly so far. And, for the mediations, same thing. The attorney and client can separate themselves out into their own chat within the mediation, so that we have privacy and we have confidentiality. The mediator can kind of go back and forth between those two chats, between, the wife and her attorney and the husband and his attorney. So I've enjoyed it. I've been okay with it. I can deal with it. I think some people don't love it, but I've been okay with it. And, it's nice. I don't have to charge my clients for travel time, for driving to the courthouse, and sometimes for a 5-minute hearing. So I think that after this is over, I was actually talking to one of the judges this morning in Palm Beach County, and she was saying, I think, the consensus is that a lot of the judges are going to continue to make that available after, even when we can go back in person to the courthouse, that, maybe just, and it saves everybody time. It saves the clients money. For a 5-minute hearing, why should we have to, get up and go to the courthouse after this?
Well, Tina, the number one question that we got the most people asking, or especially people being out of work, no paychecks coming in, what about child support?
Yeah. So I've had a couple of these cases, and I'm representing both sides actually on a couple of these cases that are going on. If you are a person who's lost your job, or if you've been furloughed, or you've been told, I had all forms of that I've seen. I've seen people that have lost their job. I've also seen people where their employer said, "Hey, listen, I can't pay you for a little while." But they may still be working, but not getting a paycheck. I mean, all sort of permutations of that. There's actually a remedy that you can file for a temporary suspension or temporary abatement of your support obligation. And that applies to both child support and alimony, where if, this has happened to you, you've been put in this, what we hope is a temporary situation due to circumstances beyond your control for no fault of your own. There's case law that supports that you can get, and tons of case law, longstanding case law that you can actually get. The court has the authority to give you a temporary suspension of your support obligation, and the arrearages actually won't accrue if that's granted. So it's not like you're going to have to owe it back later. And it's a rough situation to be in, because then the child support or alimony recipient is also put in a terrible position. But this is a terrible position for all of us. So. But those remedies are available. So I've had a couple of those cases, and it's been interesting. And then, I saw somewhere, fortunately, I had one person that said, well, we filed for that. And then all of a sudden the employer said, oh, you know what? Okay. We're okay. I can pay you again. Come back to work and I can pay you again. And everything was okay in a few weeks, but that's not going to happen to everybody. So,
Right. What about,
yeah.
have you had to talk to any mortgage lenders? Maybe the husband's having to make the mortgage payment and he can't make the mortgage payment. Have you had to
So
talk to any lenders at all?
I haven't personally had to do that, but I have clients that have gotten on the phone. And it's interesting because it's like, it's one of those things where you don't get what you don't ask for. So I've
Right.
had I learned this from my own clients that, yeah, some of them called their car financing companies, the leasing companies or the mortgage lender, and some of the banks are affording their clients temporary, like a forbearance. So I
Right.
have a client right now that she was smart enough to call up and see if that was available. And she's got a forbearance on several of the obligations for a few months. And then who knows, like you said, we don't know how long this is going to go on. We don't know if there's going to, if it's going to get worse again before it gets better. So they extended it for a certain period of time through the summer or through the middle of the summer. And then maybe they'll extend it again if they need to. But yeah, that's apparently available. And I have some clients that are taking advantage of that. And, why shouldn't they?
We had somebody write us that child support was being taken out of their Social Security, and they, with this last bill that was done, they're not allowed to take it out of their Social Security right now. Do you know anything about that? They wanted to know how long that would last for.
Yeah, I don't know much about that one, so I haven't had to experience that one. But
You'd
this
have
is
to
the
read the
thing
bill
with.
probably.
Yeah, I'd have to read the bill, and no, I haven't had occasion. No one's come to me with that issue personally, so I haven't had occasion to read that part of it. But with and I assume the bill, if that was part of the CARES Act or some, I don't know, one of these things that was passed. As you know, I mean, it's in the news every day all around us. They're talking about doing further, additional bills to help people and
Right.
additional forms of relief and things like that. So anything like that is like it's we don't know when it's until it's until it isn't anymore at this point, and then it may still be extended. So yeah, I apologize. I'm not familiar with the parameters of that one though.
Now you practice Palm Beach because you're actually your office is in Palm Beach County, but you do practice in Broward and Dade too.
Yeah, mostly in Palm Beach County and Broward, sometimes in Dade, sometimes north. But primarily my cases are in Palm Beach County and Broward. My office is in Boca, so I'm kind of right on that line.
It's right
And
off 95, easy to find.
yeah, we're on Yamato Road in East Boca. So
I got to tell you, um, it's so important. I usually do this just about every month with you. It is so important that you don't scrimp on the attorney because I know so many, mainly females, that did not hire a good attorney and they felt like they could have gotten so much more, even if maybe they couldn't have. But it is so important. She's board certified. She's been doing this for 20, I can't believe you've been doing this for 20 years. And you're really good at what you do. And what because I deal with family attorneys all over the country and our other markets, you really do care about your clients.
Yeah, and I mean, and I do, and I think that people practicing this area of law, if they dig deep, there's probably a reason that they do it. That ultimately, yeah, you have to care about people and families to do this area of law and to be good at it and to do the right thing for families. And what I always tell people when you're looking for a lawyer, whether it is family law or criminal law or bankruptcy or whatever the case may be, whatever the issue is, I tell my own friends and family that need an attorney for things, look for an attorney who's an expert in that area. Look for an attorney who's board certified, because it just says something about their degree of knowledge of the area. And I think especially in family law, there's so many issues that we deal with, and it's so complex. Some people, get that, but a lot of people coming into it who never had a divorce before, never dealt with this before, never knew anyone that went through this before, don't realize how many issues we have to deal with just in one case, and how much a family law attorney really has to know and have experience with. So that's my advice. Whether it's me or someone else, I tell people to absolutely try to really research and look for a board certified attorney if you can find one in your area.
Give everybody your phone number, Tina.
Sure, it's 561-544-6861.
And your website?
The website is lewertlaw.com. It's LEWERTLAW.com.
Tina is with us every month. We've actually had 3 texts in the last 5 minutes. I'm sorry we couldn't get to you, but we will do it next time. Tina will be with us again next month. Please stay safe. We love having you on the show. You are the expert in family law.
Thank you,
Tina.
So
stay healthy.
Good to see your face.
Lewert Law Offices is proud to be the family law expert on the Ask the Expert show. Attorney Tina Lewert is a board-certified specialist in marital and family law. Attorney Lewert is committed to obtaining the best resolution for your divorce or other family law case by consistently providing skilled representation, expert legal advice, and personal attention. Attorney Lewert has developed an excellent reputation for providing effective divorce and family law representation in Boca Raton and the surrounding communities. Lewert Law Offices offers legal advice and representation in a wide range of family law matters, including divorce, child custody, time sharing and visitation, child support, alimony, complex asset distribution, post-judgment modifications, and paternity actions. For expert representation in all aspects of divorce and family law, contact Attorney Tina Lewert today at 561-544-6861 or visit www.lewertlaw.com.